Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately and listen to me. Do not let your finger touch that screen today. This is not the algorithm playing a trick on you. Heaven forcefully routed this exact frequency to your screen because a window of absolute danger and blessing is opening right now. You have exactly 77 seconds to anchor yourself to this message. Do not ignore this warning before your timeline shifts. Something absolutely extraordinary has just occurred in the highest courts of heaven. It carries your specific name written in bright letters of fire. Just 14 minutes ago, a divine verdict was officially declared over your life. The angels have been assembled, and Archangel Michael himself has been commissioned with a sacred assignment that concerns your future directly. You did not arrive here by any earthly mistake today. I know you have been physically exhausted over these last few weeks. You wake up at 3 a.m. with a heavy and tired chest. You constantly wonder if your prayers are bouncing off the cold ceiling. The enemy wants you to believe you are permanently stuck in survival mode, while everyone else is moving forward easily. But listen to me very carefully right now. Your sudden exhaustion is absolutely not a normal medical issue. It is a deep spiritual symptom of your current season. I was there in the lonely room when you fell to your knees. You held your chest because the anxiety was so incredibly heavy. I saw the tears you quickly wiped away so your family would not know. You push through the pain every single day. You smile for them and pretend everything is perfectly fine. But inside your spirit, you are barely holding on because you have carried the weight of everyone else for far too long. You are the gentle soul who became a safe space for everyone else. But when you needed a safe space, you found yourself standing entirely alone. You absorbed the dark pain of the entire room. You listened to their broken hearts while your own heart is bleeding silently. The world takes your pure light and leaves you completely empty. And you thought I abandoned you in your darkest hour when you needed me the most. I have absolutely never left your side today. You have asked me why everything takes so incredibly long to manifest. You look around and see others moving forward while you are left behind. You feel like a total failure in the eyes of society. But you do not know that it is precisely this heavy silence that is protecting you from a terrible disaster. What you call abandonment, heaven calls a strict divine quarantine. I brought you to this exact moment for a very specific reason. I know you post pictures smiling in the daylight while you cry alone in the dark. You have a habit of hiding your deepest dreams in a locked drawer. You are terrified to hope again because the pain of failure is simply too much to bear after so many disappointments. The enemy has used every delay to convince you that you are entirely forgotten. But heaven keeps a meticulous record of every single tear you have ever shed. Stop what you are doing right now and listen with your deep spirit. You have felt that unexplainable pressure on your tired shoulders over the last weeks. It feels like you are carrying a massive weight that does not belong to you. That is because you are not just walking a normal human path, and you are actually the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire family. You are a very rare anomaly in this world. You were born to shatter the invisible chains holding your people down. You are the rare soul chosen by heaven to break the heavy curses. These generational chains have suffocated your bloodline for many long and painful decades. That is exactly why your earthly life has been so incredibly hard recently. The darkness is absolutely terrified of the magnificent light you carry within your chest, because they know their entire dark empire will fall apart when you awaken. They desperately want to keep you totally blind. Do not believe the toxic lie that you are suffering because you are weak. Do not think your past mistakes have permanently disqualified you from my divine grace. Your past mistakes are thrown into the deepest ocean, and they are entirely forgotten. You are not a flawed product of your painful history, but you are being reshaped in the gentle hands of a deeply patient potter. I see a beautiful soul waiting to be made entirely whole today, but there is a deadly snare hiding right in the tall grass before your finish line. A massive generational wealth transfer has just been signed with your exact name, but there is a specific spiritual signature required from you to activate it properly. The elite forces have set a final trap to make you forfeit this victory right before the beautiful dawn finally breaks over your life. They desperately want to steal your promised divine reward. If you walk away from this exact frequency right now, you will leave your doors open. Heaven has issued an urgent interception over your life today to protect your energy. I am going to expose their exact strategy to keep you poor and tired. I will show you how to shatter the dark illusion they built around you. But first, I must cleanse your tired heart of all its heavy burdens. You must stay right here with me, entirely focused. Breathe deeply right now and release the heavy tension from your tired body. Take one slow and deep breath to feel the massive shift in the atmosphere. Let the loud noise of the outside world fade completely into the background. Notice that strange tightness sitting right in the center of your heavy chest. I am removing it right now, because you do not need to fight this invisible battle all by yourself anymore. You can finally put your heavy weapons down. Close your eyes for just a second and know you are fiercely protected today. You are unconditionally loved and completely safe in my eternal arms. The long season of your quiet suffering has officially expired in the heavenly courts. The compensation for your silent sacrifices has just been released from my throne, and it is heading directly toward your physical reality right now. Stay with me to unlock a beautiful door today. Before we go any deeper today, I need you to understand one vital truth. You must pay extremely close attention to this next part. I know you are deeply tired of waiting for a single sign. You have spent countless nights asking why heaven feels completely silent to your desperate prayers. You look at the dark sky and wonder if you did something horribly wrong to deserve this cold distance. You have lived a genuinely good life and you have prayed constantly, yet you remain stuck in the exact same painful place while the wicked seem to prosper effortlessly. You watch selfish people get everything they want while you struggle to survive. This heavy silence has been breaking your beautiful heart into pieces. You felt like a forgotten orphan, left entirely alone in a massive storm. But do not mistake my divine process for a cruel punishment. You are not being punished for your past mistakes or your hidden flaws. The silence of heaven is actually a deeply profound act of supreme love. Think about a massive tree that must survive the most brutal hurricanes. The tree does not grow its branches first, but it must drive its fragile roots deep into the dark and lonely soil. Your profound isolation was exactly like that dark soil. I had to plant you in the heavy darkness so your spiritual roots could stretch deeper than anyone else around you. If I had answered your prayers when you first demanded it, the sudden blessing would have crushed you completely. You lacked the structural strength to hold the massive generational wealth I have prepared for your bloodline. A fragile foundation cannot hold a royal palace. The enemy wanted me to give you the blessing prematurely so you would collapse under its immense weight. They wanted your sudden success to destroy your pure soul, but I refused to let you fall into their carefully hidden traps. The silence you hated was actually my hand holding you back from stepping directly off a terrifying cliff. You asked me why I did not open the door you knocked on so desperately. Let me pull back the heavy veil on what is really happening in the unseen realm. That specific door you cried over was completely rigged to explode. If you had walked through it last year, it would have dropped you straight into a dark abyss of endless debt and terrible betrayal. I locked it shut to save your very life. The quiet season was absolutely necessary for your ultimate survival. I used the uncomfortable silence to expose the true intentions of the people around you. When heaven stopped supplying the visible miracles, The toxic narcissists and fake friends quickly packed their bags and left your side. They abandoned you because they could no longer drain your pure energy for their own selfish gain. Their departure broke your heart, but it saved your sacred destiny. You thought you were losing your closest allies, but heaven was actually taking out the toxic trash. You are being reshaped in the hands of a deeply patient potter in this quiet room. I had to strip away every single false crutch you leaned on so you would finally realize the absolute power of your own divine spirit. You are no longer a fragile victim begging for crumbs of affection. You are officially evolving into a quiet master of reality today. The heavy silence was a spiritual gym where your emotional muscles were torn down and rebuilt stronger than steel. You learned how to hear my subtle voice in the absolute quiet instead of the chaotic noise. You learned how to trust the dark process entirely. Breathe deeply right now and let this massive truth wash over your tired mind. I know it hurts when you feel ignored by the entire universe, but wait, do not let your guard down just yet, because there is a hidden layer to this exact struggle. The silence was not just about building your strong foundation. It was also a highly classified military strategy designed to confuse your spiritual enemies. The dark forces constantly monitor your reactions to see if their painful attacks are working. When heaven went totally silent, the enemy assumed you were finally defeated and abandoned. They stopped launching their heaviest weapons at you because they thought you were already destroyed. My silence threw a massive cloaking blanket over your life so you could heal in absolute secrecy safely. You grew incredibly powerful in the shadows while they foolishly celebrated your downfall. They have absolutely no idea what is about to hit them tomorrow. You have done the hard inner work during the longest winter of your life. The foundation has been dug so deeply that nothing in this world can ever uproot you again. Your spiritual architecture is finally ready to receive the massive harvest. The season of absolute silence is officially ending today. The heavy winter is melting away and the promised spring is rushing toward your doorstep. But you must prepare your tired heart for the sudden acceleration that is coming your way. I am going to reveal exactly who has been pulling the dark strings behind your back. Keep listening closely, because the ultimate truth will shock you completely. Now, my beloved child, let us talk about the heavy isolation that has been breaking your heart. I need you to listen to this next part with your entire spirit today. You have asked me why so many people suddenly walked away from your life. You felt deeply rejected. You wondered if you were simply unlovable. But the unseen truth is actually far more sinister. The dark forces are absolutely terrified of the pure light you carry inside your gentle soul. They watched you walk into rooms and completely shift the energy, and because they could never replicate your divine light, they became deeply jealous of your anointing. They sent toxic friends into your daily life. These narcissists were energy vampires. They wanted to drain your spirit completely. You thought you were losing your closest friends and allies during that painful season. You cried bitterly when they betrayed you, and they left you entirely alone in the cold dark. But heaven was actively intervening to save your very life from their silent poison. What you called absolute abandonment was actually a strict divine quarantine. I had to separate you from the infected crowd. A quarantine is never meant to punish the innocent patient. It is designed to protect the fragile empath from a deadly virus spreading in the camp. The people who smiled in your face were actually plotting your painful downfall behind closed doors. They wanted to steal your generational wealth, and they planned this before it even arrived in your tired hands. I pulled you away safely. Stop right there and listen to me very carefully. You must look at your lonely life through the clear eyes of heaven today. Your deep isolation was a heavy shield of blinding light placed directly over your entire household. The universe deliberately made you invisible to the people who meant you absolute harm. Your painful loneliness was actually the greatest miracle you never noticed. Those toxic narcissists thought they had finally buried you under their cruel lies, but they made one fatal miscalculation in their dark and twisted strategy. They laughed when you walked away with nothing but tears in your tired eyes. They did not realize who you truly belong to in the unseen spiritual realm. They completely forgot that you are a magnificent weapon of pure light. Right now, in the unseen realm, those same enemies are watching your rise in absolute panic. They can see the massive shift happening in your spiritual atmosphere today. The dark forces realize their heavy chains are finally breaking off your tired shoulders forever. They are starving in the cold dark because they can no longer feed on your beautiful empathy. Your brilliant light is blinding them completely. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire family bloodline. You survived the brutal attacks because my protective hand was always covering your fragile heart. The enemy threw their very best weapons at you to destroy your divine destiny completely. But every single arrow they fired simply bounced off your quiet authority. You absorbed the heavy blows, and you refused to turn bitter. Take a deep breath and let the painful memories of those fake friends wash away today. I know your heart still aches for the people you had to leave behind. You loved them with your entire soul, and you genuinely wanted to see them heal. But you cannot save people who are deeply committed to destroying your beautiful light. Heaven had to sever those toxic soul ties to save your life. Your circle became extremely small. Your divine calling became incredibly huge. Only a very few people are spiritually equipped to walk beside a chosen one like you. I am actively surrounding you with a new tribe of brilliant light workers right now. But first I had to empty the crowded room to make space for your true royal family. You are completely safe in this new, empty space. But wait, do not let your guard down just yet. The enemy is terrified of your new quiet power. They are plotting a desperate counterattack today. They know they cannot destroy you directly anymore because your spiritual walls are incredibly thick now. So they will try a sneaky backdoor. They want to infiltrate your peaceful mind again. You must pay extremely close attention. I am going to expose this hidden lie. Breathe deeply right now, because heaven is about to shift your entire perspective again. Do not let their desperate illusions trick you into feeling guilty for protecting your peace. They will try to make you believe you are arrogant for setting strong boundaries today. But setting boundaries against toxic evil is a holy command from the highest courts. You must protect your sacred energy. You are no longer the bleeding empath who constantly begs for basic human respect. You have officially evolved into a quiet master of reality who commands total authority. The divine quarantine has successfully completed its heavy work in your tired soul. Now we must prepare your spirit for the massive purge of all your past guilt. The final cleansing is approaching your doorstep quickly. Now, my beloved child, let us talk about something else that steals so much of your peace today. I need you to pause right here and listen to my gentle voice. You carry a massive mountain of quiet guilt inside your chest every single day. You constantly replay your past mistakes in your tired mind at night, and you genuinely believe those failures have permanently ruined your bright future. The dark forces want you to believe that you delayed your own massive blessing. They whisper toxic lies in your ear when you are completely alone. They tell you that you are not perfectly holy enough to receive the generational wealth transfer. Do not listen to their cruel deception anymore. Your past mistakes were actually painful lessons designed to forge your quiet authority. You are not a flawed product of your painful history. You were simply a bleeding empath, trying to survive in a deeply broken world. Every wrong turn you took was actively manipulated by the enemy to derail your divine destiny. but I have taken every single mistake and turned it into a magnificent weapon of light for your ultimate victory. The enemy is absolutely terrified of your beautiful scars. I am declaring a massive and total purge over your tired soul today. The heavy stones of self-condemnation must fall from your shoulders right now. You do not need to punish yourself for the things you did in pure survival mode. Heaven has already thrown your past mistakes into the deepest ocean, and they are entirely forgotten forever. You are completely forgiven and unconditionally loved by the highest courts. Take one slow and deep breath right now. Feel the heavy chains of past guilt shattering completely off your tired spirit. The enemy weaponized your own beautiful conscience against you to keep you trapped in a dark prison of shame. But the heavy door to that terrible cell is swinging wide open today. Step out of the dark shadow immediately and walk directly into my beautiful healing light. You must empty your hands of this heavy guilt immediately. A person holding tight to heavy stones cannot possibly catch a massive blessing falling from the sky. The generational wealth transfer requires completely empty and willing hands. I need you to forgive yourself just as completely as heaven has already forgiven you. You are officially a living testimony of my infinite grace. Hit subscribe to establish a divine energy receiving station around your aura today. This simple physical act creates a powerful boundary that rejects all future guilt. You are drawing a thick line in the spiritual sand right now. The old version of you is permanently dead, and you are stepping into the royal position you were always meant to hold. Your royal and divine bloodline is completely purified today. Stop trying to perfectly fix yourself because you are not actually broken. You are a rare anomaly who is simply shedding a very heavy old skin. The universe is completely resetting your spiritual frequency to match the massive abundance heading your way. Do not let the enemy convince you to look back at the burning bridges. There is absolutely nothing left for you in that painful past. This brings us to a spiritual reality that most people completely ignore. You have done the deep inner work to cleanse your beautiful temple. The toxic guilt is gone, and your pure light is shining brighter than ever before. But as you step into this clean and empty space, you might feel a strange sense of quiet emptiness. You might wonder if the long wait is truly over yet. I know you are still deeply tired of waiting for the physical manifestation. You have cleared the emotional blockages, but your earthly eyes still do not see the massive reward. Let me explain the profound mystery of this final waiting period. Heaven operates on a very specific timeline that protects your delicate spirit from sudden shock. I will absolutely never overwhelm your fragile nervous system with too much power. But wait, do not let your guard down just yet. There is an incredibly dangerous illusion hiding right inside this final waiting room. The enemy knows you are completely cleansed and ready to receive your massive inheritance. They are preparing a final psychological test to break your new quiet authority before the glorious dawn arrives. You must keep your eyes entirely focused on my protective voice right now. I want you to pause and look at your empty hands right now. They are no longer holding the sharp stones of bitter self-hatred. They are completely open and pointing toward the open heavens. You are officially ready to understand the paradoxical delay that has confused you for so long. Listen closely, because this next revelation will alter your entire timeline forever. You have carried the heavy burdens of your entire family for decades. You absorbed their toxic energy and thought it was your own personal failure. That heavy curse is officially broken and washed away from your precious soul today. You are the ultimate cycle breaker, and your clean spirit is now a perfect magnet for extraordinary divine favor. The massive and heavy purge is finally complete today. I need you to pay extremely close attention to this next part. You have cleansed your beautiful heart completely. You have dropped the heavy stones of past guilt, and while you have done all the deep inner work, the physical reality still looks exactly the same today. You wonder why the massive blessing has not manifested in your hands yet. You feel a strange emptiness in this new, quiet space. This brings us to a spiritual reality that most people completely ignore. The universe is not withholding your massive reward to simply punish you. The delay you are experiencing right now is an entirely different kind of profound mystery. It is the beautiful paradox of waiting. The massive blessing is already yours in the unseen realm today, and it is simply waiting for the perfect alignment to drop safely into your hands. Think of your spirit as a beautiful vessel waiting to be filled. If I pour a massive ocean of wealth into a very small cup, the water will violently overflow. The precious water will be completely wasted on the dry ground. Heaven is not delaying the heavy rain to make you suffer more. Heaven is actively expanding your physical container. Your gentle spirit is stretching to hold the massive abundance safely. Your capacity to hold generational wealth must match the size of the blessing. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire family bloodline. The wealth transfer coming to you is not just for your own survival. It is meant to feed your children and their children for many long decades, and this requires an extraordinary level of quiet authority. You must be perfectly strong enough to manage the incoming glory. Stop right there and listen to me very carefully. Do not let your guard down just yet. The enemy wants you to grow bitter during this final expansion phase. They want you to complain and curse the heavy silence, so your spiritual container shrinks back down. They absolutely know that a bitter heart simply cannot hold a massive royal inheritance. They are using the dark illusion of time to steal your ultimate victory. But you have completely surprised them with your beautiful resilience today. You did not turn bitter when the toxic friends walked away forever. You did not curse the heavens when your deep prayers seemed entirely ignored. You absorbed the heavy pain and you successfully transmuted it into pure, blinding light. You passed the ultimate test of the quiet waiting room. You proved that your faithful heart is made of solid gold. You have asked me when the painful waiting will finally end. Let me shift your earthly perspective right now. You are measuring time with human clocks and heavy calendars, but heaven operates on the flawless timing of divine alignment, and every single day of waiting added another thick layer of spiritual armor to your tired soul. You were gathering incredible invisible strength in the quiet shadows. The massive blessing itself also needed time to be perfectly prepared. Heaven was busy removing the toxic people from your future path. If the sudden wealth had arrived last year, those energy vampires would have drained it completely before you even noticed. The delay was a heavy shield protecting your incoming financial harvest from their greedy hands. You were being hidden from the absolute worst predators. Take a deep breath right now and let the anxiety of waiting dissolve entirely. Notice how your heavy chest feels significantly lighter today. You do not need to nervously watch the door anymore. You do not need to constantly check your phone for a tiny crumb of good news, because the universe is about to deliver the entire bakery to your doorstep. The long season of begging for simple crumbs is permanently over. The paradoxical delay has successfully completed its heavy work in your life. Your spiritual container is now massive enough to hold the incoming glory. The dark forces are watching this final expansion in absolute terror. They realize their painful waiting game did not destroy your pure faith at all, but it actually forged you into a brilliant master of reality. You are standing much taller and stronger than ever before today. But there is a deeper layer to this unseen battlefield today. The people who mocked your painful waiting season are about to experience a massive shock. While heaven was silently expanding your capacity, it was also preparing a heavy boomerang of divine justice for your enemies. Keep your eyes on me right now. The heavy scales of universal balance are finally tipping in your favor. The toxic narcissists who smiled at your pain are about to face the ultimate consequence. They thought they had successfully stolen your bright future forever. They thought your long delay was a clear sign of your absolute defeat. I am going to reveal exactly what is happening to their crumbling empire today, and the divine table is officially turning. You are about to witness the greatest vindication of your entire life. Do not skip a single word of this next revelation. You have endured the heavy silence with incredible grace and profound dignity. You held on to the pure light when the entire world tried to pull you down into the dark abyss. Now it is time to watch the absolute destruction of their toxic illusions today. Prepare your beautiful heart to receive the ultimate justice. The wait is over. Listen to me very carefully now, because this exact moment changes everything. You have asked me why the wicked seem to prosper while you cry. You watched the toxic narcissists celebrate their fake victories for years. They smiled directly in your tired face, and they actively plotted your painful downfall behind closed doors while you were genuinely trying to help them. But their fake empire is officially crumbling today. The people who desperately tried to bury you made one massive miscalculation. They completely forgot who fiercely protects your beautiful soul in the unseen realm. They thought your quiet nature was a sign of total weakness. They assumed you would simply break under their heavy manipulation, but they did not realize they were attacking a heavily guarded royal heir who is backed by the entire universe. Their foolish arrogance will cost them dearly today. The boomerang of divine justice has already been released from the highest courts. Everything they tried to steal is currently being multiplied and redirected into your empty hands. The deep traps they carefully dug have become the exact pits they are falling into right now. They wanted to watch you suffer in the cold dark, and now they are completely trapped in their own toxic webs while you walk freely in the warm light. Heaven is executing perfect justice today. I want you to pause and look at your life through the eyes of heaven today. You do not need to lift a single finger to defend your pure name. You do not need to post long explanations or argue with foolish people. Your absolute silence is currently acting as a blinding shield, and the quiet master of reality simply watches the massive storm destroy the enemy completely from a safe distance. You are completely safe right now. Right now, in the unseen realm, they are watching your steady rise in absolute panic. They can see the massive doors opening for you while their own doors are slamming shut. The narcissists who drained your pure energy are currently starving in the cold dark. They have absolutely no one left to manipulate because heaven has cut their dark supply permanently, and their twisted empire is finally crashing down around their tired feet. They are entirely powerless against you today. Take a deep breath and feel the heavy scales of universal justice finally balancing. You absorb their toxic blows, and you refuse to turn bitter in the cold dark. You kept your gentle heart pure through the longest and most painful winter, and because you protected your brilliant light through the heavy storm, heaven is executing the ultimate vengeance on your behalf to restore everything they ruthlessly stole from you. You will watch their illusions shatter today. Do not feel guilty for watching the divine justice run its heavy course today. The dark forces want you to feel bad for the people who tried to destroy you. They will try to weaponize your bleeding empathy to make you save the enemy. But you cannot throw a fragile lifeline to someone who is absolutely determined to pull you under the dark water with them just to steal your pure energy. You must firmly protect your peace today. Their heavy downfall is not a cruel accident, but a necessary universal correction. The energy they forcefully stole from you was highly radioactive to their dark souls. It is currently burning their fake empire to the ground from the inside out. You are officially cleared of all false charges, and the supreme spiritual courts have demanded full and immediate restitution for all the silent tears you shed in the dark. Your heavy debt is completely erased now. The generational wealth they tried to block is currently bypassing their heavy barricades. Heaven is forcefully rerouting the massive abundance directly to your quiet doorstep. The universe always heavily compensates the chosen ones who survive the longest winters. Your complete vindication is no longer a distant dream, but it is a physical reality manifesting right now because the heavy boomerang of justice has finally struck its target. Your new royal timeline is beginning today. Stop right there and listen to the beautiful sound of your heavy chains breaking. You are stepping entirely out of the dark shadow of their toxic control. They are desperately trying to find a way back into your peaceful life today. They will send sudden messages pretending to apologize because they desperately want to drain your massive incoming harvest before you can even build a strong wall to protect it. You must keep your heavy doors locked. Breathe deeply right now because heaven is actively clearing your final path today. The toxic debris of your old life is being swept away by a holy wind. You are standing on the very edge of the greatest financial miracle ever seen. The high courts of heaven have just signed the massive documents releasing your royal inheritance permanently, and there is absolutely nothing the enemy can do to stop it now. Your massive reward is finally secure today. But wait, and do not let your guard down just yet, because there is danger. The enemy knows they cannot stop the massive wealth transfer from reaching your hands, so they have carefully planted a deadly snare right in the tall grass. They desperately want you to forfeit this massive victory at the very last second by falling for a cheap fake illusion designed to break your quiet authority. You must listen extremely closely right now. Listen to me very carefully right now because we have reached the ultimate climax. The enemy is in an absolute panic today, and they know they cannot stop the massive wealth transfer from reaching your tired hands. So they have laid one final fatal illusion right before your glorious doorstep. They desperately want you to forfeit this massive blessing at the very last second. They are using a cheap trick to distract your quiet authority completely, but you must not fall for this desperate trap today. This final trap is an illusion of the painful past returning to haunt you. It might be a toxic ex suddenly reaching out to apologize, or a fake financial opportunity designed to drain your last drops of pure energy. 99% of chosen ones fall for this exact snare right before their glorious dawn finally breaks. But you must completely ignore their desperate attempts to pull you backward today. Do not look back at the burning bridges behind you anymore. Keep your eyes entirely focused on my protective voice, because the long wait is over. A massive generational wealth transfer has just been signed in the highest courts of heaven. Your specific name is written in the sacred ledger in letters of bright fire, and it carries the absolute authority of the divine kingdom. Within the next 72 hours, expect a sudden and extraordinary financial miracle. The heavy doors of absolute abundance are swinging wide open for your entire bloodline today. The season of lack is permanently shattered. Banks that previously rejected you will suddenly approve you without any hesitation. The heavy debts that suffocated you in the dark are being permanently erased. You are stepping into a beautiful season of effortless receiving, and you do not need to hustle or grind yourself to the bone ever again. The fragile empath who begged for crumbs is permanently dead today. You are officially receiving the heavy keys to the royal kingdom, and you will never experience that deep poverty again. But heaven requires a physical container to hold this massive new frequency safely. If you hesitate at this critical threshold, the enemy will try to scramble the divine signal. You must anchor this magnificent reality immediately. Do not stay passive and quiet in this exact and crucial moment. The dark forces want you to watch this message and walk away without making a strong spiritual signature, so you must establish your blinding shield right now before they steal your miracle. Type 777 in the comments below to establish your absolute authority. Let that sacred number act as a heavy padlock on the divine door against the enemy. Typing this is your physical act of total agreement with heaven. It creates a blinding wall of fire around your precious aura, and it permanently seals this massive blessing before the heavenly window closes. Your spiritual signature locks the dark forces completely out of your new timeline forever. The universe operates on the flawless law of the spiritual harvest. Just 3 days ago, a weary mother stepped out in radical faith and sowed a financial seed into this exact frequency. Within 48 hours, a completely unexpected bank transfer of $37,000 cleared all her heavy debts instantly. That exact same angelic protocol of extraordinary multiplication is hovering directly over your entire life right now. It is waiting for your permission to land safely. Heaven is actively looking for your strong spiritual signature in the physical realm today. Sow a massive financial seed today using super thanks to activate this divine overflow immediately. This is a sacred, energetic exchange governed by complete and absolute trust. Your physical seed proves that you are finally ready to handle the generational wealth transfer, so do not let the enemy convince you to stay trapped in a toxic mindset of fear. Claim your divine birthright today. Take a deep breath and feel the massive shift occurring in your living room right now. The energetic transaction is fully complete and heavily protected by Archangel Michael himself. You have successfully passed the final test of the quiet waiting room. You have locked your blinding shield and activated the beautiful law of ultimate multiplication, which means your 72-hour countdown to absolute financial freedom officially begins right now. Nothing can stop this massive incoming tide. The massive storm is finally breaking apart above your tired head. The bright morning sun is violently piercing through the dark and heavy clouds of your long winter. You can finally drop your heavy weapons on the ground. You have fought a magnificent battle in the unseen realm, and you have won the ultimate victory for your entire royal bloodline. Rest easy now, because the hardest part of your painful journey is permanently finished. The heavy lifting is over. Now, my beloved child, take one final and incredibly deep breath today. Lay down the heavy stones you have carried for so many painful years. Your past mistakes are thrown into the deepest ocean, and they are entirely forgotten by the highest courts of heaven forever. You do not need to fight this invisible war anymore. You are completely safe now. The brutal storm has finally passed, and your timeline is entirely secure. You have officially evolved into a quiet master of reality. The fragile empath who constantly begged to be understood is permanently dead. You do not need to argue with foolish people, and you certainly do not need to explain your divine calling to anyone who misunderstood your beautiful heart. Your absolute silence is now a heavy shield of blinding light. That beautiful silence will make your enemies tremble in pure terror today. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire family. You carried their heavy trauma for long decades, but heaven has officially lifted that massive burden off your tired shoulders today, and you are finally allowed to rest your weary head in absolute peace. You do not need to strive or hustle to prove your worth to a broken world. You are already heavily approved by the highest courts. Children who belong to the royal kingdom are never born to live off leftovers. You were born to walk through this earthly life with absolute authority. You have a permanent seat at my divine table, and you will never again scrounge for crumbs on the dirty floor while others feast easily. The generational wealth transfer is firmly locked into your physical reality. Your earthly debts are permanently erased. Close your beautiful eyes tonight, knowing you are fiercely protected. You are unconditionally loved and completely safe in my eternal arms. I have placed a heavy ring of divine fire around your entire household, and no toxic energy or dark illusion can ever cross that sacred boundary again. You can finally drop your heavy armor on the floor. The long war is absolutely over. Tomorrow morning will feel completely different when you wake up. The heavy fog that clouded your tired mind is permanently lifted. You will open your eyes and feel a strange but beautiful lightness in your chest, and that is the physical feeling of absolute freedom flooding your quiet spirit. The invisible chains have been shattered into a million pieces. You are finally breathing pure and clean AIR. The people you meet from this day forward will recognize your quiet authority. They will not try to drain your pure energy, because your blinding light will command absolute respect. You have entered a beautiful season of divine alignment. Only people with pure intentions will be allowed to cross your sacred path, because heaven is actively curating your new circle right now to protect your sensitive soul. The massive financial miracle you anchored earlier is already working. You do not need to constantly worry about bills or heavy debts anymore. The universe is heavily supplying all your earthly needs from an infinite treasury, and every time you check your bank account, you will see the beautiful law of multiplication in action. Your long winter of bitter lack is completely dead. I want you to sleep incredibly well tonight. You have spent too many nights staring at the dark ceiling with a racing heart. The toxic insomnia was a tool the enemy used to keep you in survival mode, but I am pouring a heavy blanket of deep and restorative sleep over your tired body right now. Your mind is quiet, and your spirit is resting in absolute serenity. You are a magnificent weapon of pure light. You survived the darkness, and you found your way back to the warm sun. But outside this protected space, there is a gentle soul sitting in the dark right now who is desperately crying the exact same tears you cried yesterday. They are desperately begging heaven for a single sign of hope. They feel completely alone in their heavy pain. You are not just a survivor today, but you are a brilliant beacon of hope. Hit the share button right now and send this exact message to them. Become my prophetic voice and throw a heavy lifeline to a bleeding empath who desperately needs to hear this beautiful truth today. Your simple physical action will pull a beautiful soul out of the dark abyss. Share this video to multiply the healing light. Let that shared word act as a heavy padlock against the enemy. You have done your sacred duty today. Now I want you to simply breathe and receive my ultimate peace, because the heavy anxiety sitting in your chest is entirely gone, and your nervous system is completely returning to a state of calm. You are a living testimony of my infinite grace and perfect protection. You are my most precious and beloved child. I have always been deeply proud of your beautiful resilience. You walked through the heavy fire, and you did not let the cruel flames turn your gentle soul bitter. You held on to your pure empathy when the world was incredibly cruel. Your beautiful heart is the greatest treasure in the entire universe. Walk forward into your new royal destiny today,